Hello friend, welcome back. Thanks for your support in my previous videos. Okay, so that helps a lot for me to create new videos on your issues and everything. Okay, so for today's the topic we have received to deal with it's cascading effect in drop downs. Okay, so I have created one story here. Okay, so in this story I have created three drop downs. Okay, to implement the cascading in drop down. Okay, so first of all, what is cascading in drop down? So cascading a drop down means creating dependent effect. Okay, so creating a dependent effect based on the drop down selections to our data source or model. Okay, so if you will see here, I have a model where I have few fields if you will see here, I have zone, state, subregion. Okay, and then plan value and the version actual. So I have data here for north, south, east, and west zone, and based on these zones I have state. Okay, so which falls under those zones, and then subregions which falls under those states. Okay, so let me show you what objects I have created in my story for this. Okay, so if you will see here, I have these are the text areas where I have just written select zone, select state, and select city. And I have created three drop downs. So the first one is dd underscore zone for zone, then dd state for state, and dd city for city. Okay, so uh, how we achieve this cascading effect? So if you will view the video, view the story. Okay, so if you will view the story here, so I have to first, when I'm loading this page. Okay, so on initialization you will see that city and states are not having any values. Okay, but the zone is having all the zones like north, south, east, west. Okay, and one unassigned value. Maybe this is because there is some empty record there. Okay, so let's select east, our first zone. Okay, so when we are selecting east, you will see that my table, it's got filtered based on my selection from the drop down. Okay, and then now the data is for east zone. I have New York and Mass, and then subregions and the plan value. So now I have to implement the cascading effect. So when I select here east, then I have only option in my second drop down for the states which falls under the east zone. Okay, so here I have to select either New York or Mass. Okay, so let's select New York. So when I'm selecting New York, so if you will see that now I have two filters applied here. Okay, so East Zone, New York City, New York State. Okay, and then based on that, I have two subregions like Brooklyn and Manhattan. Okay, so let me show you what filters I have applied to my model. So it's East Zone and New York State. Okay, so these two values are got applied here. Now I have another drop down where I can select the city also. So if you will see, I have Brooklyn and Manhattan. Okay, so let's select Brooklyn first. So when I will select Brooklyn, you will see that my table has only one record now based on the data in my model. Okay, so uh, now I have three filters, that is East Zone, New York State, and Brooklyn subregion. I can change it from Brooklyn to Manhattan. Okay, my data will get changed here also. Okay, so this effect which I'm getting here, that is called like cascading effect. Okay, I can directly change it here from New York to Mars, and when I will change here, this will get only the values for the Mars state like Boston or Cambridge. Okay, so and based on that I can do a selection here, and if I will directly change from east to north. Okay, so the other two drop downs will also change their values. So now we will say that for north I have here California and Washington. So you will see these values are here in drop down 2. When I will select California, I'll have two subregions, Los Angeles and San Francisco. So these two values in my city. If I'll select one, I'll have this value. Okay, so now let's see how what code I have written to achieve this cascading effect in dropdown. So the first thing was like on initialization. So on initialization, I have loaded this dropdown. Okay, so loading this dropdown, it was like very easy. Just create a variable and table1 dot get data source dot get members and the field name for which I have to bring the data from my data source, okay, or from my table1 dot get data source dot get members John. Okay, so this will create an array of strings and will store all the values here. Then I removed all items from the dd underscore John drop down. Okay, if there are any, it will first remove everything and then it will uh, do a loop for variable I equal to 0, I less than John dot length, and then I plus plus, and it will do just an add item. Okay, so add item will do what? It will just add one item, okay, to the drop down based on this like zone I of ID and zone I of description. This means like ID and the description value, it will load to this drop down. Okay, now when I have get loaded this drop down, so the other action which I'm performing on this drop down is the select. Like I select one value, that means I'm performing another action here. Okay, so event I'm doing here, like selecting the value. So when I'm selecting something, so then on select of this I'm writing some code. So if I'll just select, it has to perform some action. Okay, so what action it has to do? First, clear all the filters if anything is applied on the table. Okay, like now it's, you will see it has one filter and that is on south. Okay, south zone. So now the how it is working, on click event. So when I'm clicking something, okay, or on click, it on select, like when I'm clicking something, it is actually selecting some value. So this selection, okay, whatever value I have selected here, so first it has to remove the south one. Okay, so if you will see, now I have only east, the south has been removed. Okay, so first I removed everything, then get ddZone dot get selected key. I got the selected key value. Okay, I print that value in console. If you want, I can show you. Okay, let me open this here from more tools, developer tools. Okay, so here you will see what when I'm clicking something. Okay, so this was like east uh, Z3. Now I'm clicking west. This should have Z4. Okay, so the ID for that zone, like I'm just printing here using the console.log and the selected value. Okay, so after when like I have received one selected value, I have to apply the filter. Okay, so get table1 dot get data source that set dimension filter to the zone and the value which I have here. Okay, so to the zone column I'm just applying the filter for the like here west zone. Okay, so for the west zone I'm just applying the filter here. Now when once I have like applied the filter to the table, this table one. Okay, so now whatever fields are remaining here, so for those I'm applying a selection here. I created one another variable as selection, and then I have applied a code like table1 dot get data source dot get data selections for zone with the value of selected zone. Like if it is west here, then for the west zone, like give me the data selection. So now it's a array of strings. Okay, so I'm doing it on based on state, if you will say, in the zone. Okay, so for this zone, whatever values are there in state, okay, so it will just in the selection array, okay, it will just put it in the selection of 0 is Colorado, and then uh, selection of 1 it will be Arizona. Okay, so those value will be stored here. Okay, and then I'm just removing all the filters from here, and then for where I equal to 0, I less than selection dot length. Okay, this, as I said that it's a string, array of a string. Okay, so it will have some length. So based on that, this in the selection dot length, I started a loop here, and then I created a variable that is member. Okay, and in this member, what I'm storing the state. Okay, so every time it's going to the first line. Okay, and then like it found two values here for state. Okay, or it will have all the data, but for the state, when it's going to do the selection, get the result member from state column. Okay, based on the selection of I. So then it will first here it will go and find Arizona, Colorado and Arizona, and then it will do the add item. Okay, and it will load the ID and the description. Okay, so you will see here I have those two values, Colorado and Arizona. So based on that, like I have select Arizona first. Okay, so when I select Arizona, okay, so you will see that only the subregions for Arizona now I have in my table. So and so these two subregions will come in my third based on the selection of this state. Okay, so like then I have to go for the state underscore on select event, and I remove the dimension, and that the same code, just change the filters, change the columns like from zone to state and from state to subregion. Okay, and it pays the same, it behaved like in the same way which I performed for the first column. Okay, so now I have here two subregions. So if I'll select Phoenix here, it's it will apply a filter to the Phoenix, and then if I want to change this city, it will change the city. Okay, and if I'll select from Arizona to Colorado, so it will change to Colorado, and in select city I will have to another like Denver and Boswell. Okay, as my city. And if I just change the zone itself, then again I will have states, two states and four subregions. So out of two subregions, you will see like when I am selecting zone, this field will not get loaded because it has to be empty. It will get populated only when the state will be loaded. So that is the dependency here, if you will see. Okay, so now I have select north, then it will show California and Washington. So when I will select California, then it will show me the state city for the California. Okay, so hope you have understand this cascading drop down, how it works, how we create the dependency on the like field drop downs and achieve this thing. Okay, so and hope you are clear with the code also which I have shown you here. Okay, so uh, thank you for this. Okay, and hope like if you will face any issues on this, please do a comment in my video so that I can answer you or reply you there. Okay, so thank you, thank you, thank you, thanks once again for your support. Okay, thank you.